What's going on, everybody? Spunky1991 coming at you another video. So Donovan Mcnabb, as we all know, made some comments regarding Carson Wentz that are very controversial. They have gotten people talking. They have got people speaking out against him. Eagles players, of course. Lane Johnson and Freddie Mitchell being two of the Eagles players, current and former, that have spoken out against Donovan Mcnabb's comments. The media has been talking about this, of course. Eagles vid makers have been making videos about this. I made 2 videos myself about this. The words have been, the words that he stated on Carson Wentz, his criticism of Carson Wentz has definitely been very controversial and gotten people talking. That's for sure. Donovan Mcnabb on Twitter posted a statement, series of statements, trying to clarify exactly what he meant by his words. Of course, he's feeling the pressure, for everybody coming out against him for what he said. I'm going to read the statement to you guys very shortly. And, of course, I'm giving my thoughts after this, after I read it. But, yeah, Mcnabb is definitely feeling the heat, man. A lot of people are speaking out against his comments. But I'm going to go ahead and read this statement real quick, and I'm giving my thoughts. Donovan Mcnabb starts off by saying, for those of you who misread, didn't understand, were confused, or just didn't like my comments, let me clarify it for you. Let me start by saying that there's no beef, riff, or ill will towards Carson Wentz or the Philadelphia Eagles organization. My comments were strictly based off of experience and understanding of how the business of football works. You are consistently evaluated every day, every game, and if you are reliable and or healthy enough to play. I know at times as players and fans it can be confusing to move on from a beloved player, but due to the business of health and trust, tough decisions are usually made. Maybe people just didn't like it because it's coming from me, or I answered a question from one of the talents on the radio the way you didn't agree with. If that's how you feel, I'm sorry you feel that way. It's the nature of the game. So that was Donovan Mcnabb's statement there. Donovan Mcnabb, of course, is statistically the best quarterback in Eagles history. I know a lot of people disagree when I say he's the best quarterback in Eagles history, but statistically, you gotta give Mcnabb his props. In the 13 years that Donovan Mcnabb played for the Eagles, he has a 98 wins, 62 losses, and 1 tie. He has a 59.0 completion percentage. He has 37,276 yards passing. He has 234 career touchdown passes. He has 117 interceptions. He has an 85.6 passer rating. He has 3,249 rushing yards, and he has 29 rushing touchdowns. Most of those records, man, I expect Carson Wentz to break. Passing touchdown, passing yards, completion percentage. Hell, even rushing. I expect Carson Wentz, to break all those records. Mcnabb, here's the thing, man. Like, when it comes to Mcnabb, I still think he's very petty. I still think he's extremely petty, man. I think there's definitely jealousy there when it comes to Carson Wentz. He sees Carson Wentz as a threat to break a lot of his records. But I can't. When it comes to some of the stuff that Donovan Mcnabb said, I think he does make a good point at certain times, man. I think in his statement, he does make a good point. He's right. Players are constantly evaluated. That's the way it goes, man. It's not about what you did in the past. It's about what you're doing now, and he's absolutely right about that. Carson Wentz is going to be evaluated these next 2 years, especially because the Eagles got to decide if he is truly the guy for them for the long term. I believe he is, and I believe he's going to prove it. But it really is an evaluation. That's a fact. And Carson Wentz is coming off of 2 straight seasons of being hurt, and there is a little bit of pressure on him because Nick Foles finished up the job in 2017 and won the Super Bowl for this team, and then the following year Nick Foles came back in and led the team to the playoffs. So there's definitely pressure on Carson Wentz to deliver. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. He definitely is going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder. He definitely got a lot he has to prove in 2019 and 2020 because the Eagles gotta know for sure if Carson Wentz is gonna be the guy from here on out, and it's all gonna be based off his play on the field. I disagree with Mcnabb, with these, talking about that the Eagles need to move on for Carson Wentz after after 2, maybe 3 years if he doesn't get to an NFC Championship game. I don't agree with that whatsoever. I think, that I think as long as the team is performing well, Carson Wentz is performing well, the team is a playoff team, I think that's enough to say yes, Carson Wentz is the guy for the long-term future. So I agree with I agree with Donovan Mcnabb when he says that it's definitely an evaluation. Quarterbacks especially, but all players, but quarterbacks especially, are evaluated with the way they perform on the field, based on the way they perform on the field. So Carson Wentz is definitely gonna have he's definitely gonna have a chip on his shoulder. He has a lot he has to prove, because I told you guys in previous videos, man, I love Carson Wentz, but I don't put him on a pedestal like he's God and above criticism. He made some bad decisions in 2018. He made some bad decisions prior to that. But he's shown overall that he's definitely a good quarterback with a lot of potential. He's definitely shown that, But coming off of another injury from 2018, and Nick Foles is gone now. Nick Foles is down in Jacksonville, and he's earned the right to become a star down there. So this is 100% Carson Wentz team. The Eagles are, the front office is 100% behind Carson Wentz. So it's up to Carson Wentz to go out there and prove that the Eagles made the right decision by letting Nick Foles walk and keeping him. So Carson Wentz is definitely going to have that pressure on his shoulders to prove that. Do I think he's going to prove it? Absolutely. But I agree with Mcnabb on that, man. It definitely is an evaluation, and they're going to be evaluating Carson Wentz, big time the next year or two, because we got to pay Carson Wentz. If he is truly the guy, we got to pay him a humongous contract within the next 2 years, at least. We got to pay him a humongous contract. So we need to know for sure that he can return to that 2017 MVP form. We got to know for sure. And the only way to find out is for him to go out there and show us on the field. Russell Wilson just got his monster payday from the Seahawks. There's going to be many other quarterbacks who are going to get monster paydays. You got Patrick Mahomes is going to get a big payday. Dak Prescott is going to get a big payday. Trying to think who else is maybe due for a deal. Jared Goff, Andrew, I'm trying to think. I think Andrew Luck is due for a deal within the next year or two. I think Andrew Luck's will get another big deal. So yeah, you pay these quarterbacks to win for you, man. You pay them to win to when the game is online, to put the game, to put the pressure on their shoulders and carry the team. Wentz has not shown yet that he could do that on a consistent basis, man. He has not shown that he could deliver in the clutch. So Wentz definitely has to prove that, in the next upcoming years. Now, I love Wentz, and I do strongly believe in Wentz, but if he does not prove that, then hey, we do have to consider moving on. If he does not prove that he can be that winner that we know he's capable of being, if this team is not performing well and they're not going to the playoffs, then yeah, you do have to consider moving on. That's just the way the business go. So I agree with Donovan Mcnabb with that. I do. But I think Donovan Mcnabb has just been so critical of Carson Wentz. Like, he's never had anything nice. He's had nothing nice to say about Carson Wentz since the kid was drafted. There definitely is jealousy and pettiness there, regardless of how much Donovan Mcnabb wants to deny it. There definitely is pettiness there. He sees Carson Wentz as that guy who's going to break every single record of his, franchise record. And I think Carson Wentz is definitely going to break every record of those. Carson Wentz is already sits on the all-time list on a lot of categories. So yeah, Carson Wentz is definitely going to break a lot of McNabb's records. And I think that's what bothers McNabb the most, because he knows deep down, at some point, Carson Wentz is going to hold all those records. You're no longer going to be regarded as the greatest quarterback in Eagles history. And he fears that he's going to be forgotten by Eagle fans. And a lot of Eagle fans probably have forgotten about him, because let's be honest, McNabb never brought us a ring. So for him to sit here and say a lot of stuff he said, man, where's the Lombardi trophies won by you, McNabb? You have not brought any Lombardi trophies to Philadelphia. Carson Wentz did not bring one to Philadelphia, but his play in 2017 put the Eagles in position to win one. So I agree. Like I said, I agree with McNabb on the stuff about the evaluation and about health, because Carson Wentz got to prove that he can stay healthy. That's something that Carson Wentz really has to prove, that he can stay on the field on a consistent basis, man, because that's been my biggest concern about Carson Wentz. Can he stay healthy? We need a quarterback that can stay healthy. I would love to talk about Carson Wentz as one of those guys like Brett Favre, Eli Manning, those guys who have those consecutive starts. I would love to talk about Wentz like that, but he has to go out there and show it on a consistent basis that he can stay healthy and he can truly be that franchise quarterback that the Eagles traded up to in 2017 to draft. Do I think Carson Wentz will do it? Absolutely. I think he will do it. I think he will do it, and he needs to do it to prove the doubters and the haters wrong, because trust me, there are a lot of doubters and haters right now. Not just Mcnabb. Mcnabb is right on the evaluation, but he's wrong on talking about that if the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl or go to the NFC Championship game in 3 years, they need to move on. As long as I see the Eagles performing well, Carson Wentz performing well, the Eagles are a playoff team, then I'm okay with that. Obviously, I want more Lombardi trophies. We all want more Lombardi trophies, and I do think Carson Wentz is going to deliver more Lombardi trophies to Philadelphia before it's all said and done. I truly do believe that, and I truly do believe that he's going to be a Hall of Famer, like Coach Dick Vermeil said. I do see Hall of Fame potential in Carson Wentz, and I think one day he will be in the Hall of Fame, and he will go down as the greatest quarterback in Eagles history. I honestly do believe that. But it starts with getting on that field, staying on that field consistently, and proving it on the field. That's the only way that's going to happen. It's up to Carson Wentz. The pressure's on his shoulders to go out there and prove it. The pressure's on his shoulders. So, so you can't disagree with Mcnabb on that one, man. There is going to be pressure on Wentz to go out there and perform and show it on the field. I can't disagree with Mcnabb on that one. Do I think he's petty? Absolutely. I think he is petty. I think there definitely is a part of jealousy and bitterness there for sure. I honestly do believe that, because you go back and watch some of his stuff on ESPN First Take, man. Just the stuff that he said about Wentz, man, like, with friends like that, man, who the hell needs enemies, right? Like, he was just so damn overcritical of Carson Wentz that guys like Max Kellerman and Molly Crum, who are two Giants fans, by the way, had to calm him down a little bit. Stephen A. Smith had to calm him down a little bit because they felt like he was too damn critical of Carson Wentz. You would think the former Eagles quarterback would be 100%, that would be behind Carson Wentz and sitting there and defending Carson Wentz against the Giants fans over there. You would think that, but it was actually the Giants fans who were a lot less critical on Carson Wentz than Mcnabb was, and that's crazy. Stephen A. Smith, a Steelers fan, was a lot less critical on Carson Wentz than Mcnabb was. So there definitely is there definitely is some jealousy, some hate, some bitterness there for sure. Regardless of how much Mcnabb wants to deny that, but he is not wrong about the evaluation process. Carson Wentz is going to be strictly under a evaluation process in the next year or two, because we have to throw big money at him, and if he doesn't go out there and perform, man, we can't throw that big money at him. It's that simple. He has to go out there, stay healthy, and return to the MVP form to get his payday. That's the way it goes. Go out there, perform, and earn that money. And like I said, man, I think he will earn it. But you guys, let me know what you think about Donovan Mcnabb's statement. Do you agree with Do you agree with him or a certain part of it? Let me know in the comment section. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section. As always, go Birds. Carson Wentz, go out there and silence the haters in 2019 and 20. Fly, Eagle, fly. Peace.